Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain the concept of inline functions in C++ programming with the help of an illustrative example program. But before that, before going to the program, I will just tell a bit about what is inline functions and what is all about it. So, when function is small and called repeatedly for a number of times, it requires a lot of execution time. So in this type of situation, this type of situation can be handled using the concept of inline function in C++. So let me repeat: when a function is small in terms of lines of code and is called repeatedly for a number of times, it requires a lot of execution time to be executed. So this type of situation can be handled using the concept of inline function in C++ programming. The idea behind this declaration is that at the time of compilation, the code of the inline function is incorporated within the source code of the program. This slightly increases the size of the source code but saves a lot of execution time. So what is the idea behind this inline function declaration? It is that at the time of compilation, the code of the inline function is incorporated within the source code of the program, which slightly increases the size of the source code, but saves a lot of execution time. So this is the importance of inline functions in C++ programming. So I will just show you an example program which demonstrates the use of inline functions, and you will be easily able to understand what is the purpose and what is the function of the inline functions in C++. So the concept which I have just mentioned can be easily be understood by the help of the illustrative program which I am going to show you in a bit. So we have opened this program. It is a fairly simple program, a very small program in terms of lines of code, and but it will make you understand what is the purpose of inline function in C++. Like in this program, there is a file inclusion directive as we always give, followed by the using namespace std, and after that I have written a program in C++. I didn't use the concept of class and object in this program in order to make you understand the concept of inline function. I've just written a program in which I have defined a function before main. So that function is called area, which is named as area, and it is going to return some integer value out of this function, and this function has been preceded, this return type has been preceded by the keyword inline, and this inline keyword shows that it is nothing but an inline function. So this function int area within arguments int l, which returns an integer value, is declared to be an inline function. So this is an inline function. So let's move ahead with the code. So what I have done over here, inline int area, I have given one formal argument to this function in int l, and there is the length of I think I have determined I'm going to determine the length area of a square out of this program, and this function is going to return the area of a square. So for that for the determination of the area of a square, we need to supply the dimension of one side of the square, and that is the L which I have passed as a formal argument to this function area. So after that, whatever is the value passed on with this argument, with this formal argument, is squared, that is L star L is the calculation which is performed over here, and whatever is the result from this L star L calculation will be returned from this function as an integer value. It will be returned to the calling module definitely, where from the function will be called. So now let's come to the main section, int main, and I have declared one integer variable length, int length, and I have given a prompt for the user to enter the length from the standard input device. Cout, enter the length of the square, endl, then cin length. So you can easily see that I have supplied the length as an input from the standard input device, and after that I have called the function in a different manner, that is in the cout statement by the cascading of the insertion operators. That is cout insertion operator. The area of the square is then insertion operator area length, then insertion operator endl. So what is this function? This area with the length as the actual argument is the function call. So this is the area where the function has been called in the main section, which will put the entire, so the control of the program doesn't go to this portion, and that will require a lot of execution time because because the function has been defined as an inline function. So what will happen over here is that the entire function body will be somewhat will be relocated or somewhat will be placed on this area where the function is being called. So the function body will be extended in the region of the function call, that is area length, where we call the function with the actual argument length, whatever is being supplied by the user as an input, as the length of the square. This function call will help to place the entire function body over here so that the execution time is saved. It will definitely increase some lines of code. It will definitely increase the length in terms of lines of code, but a lot of execution time will be saved in the process by expanding the expanding the inline function in this portion so that it doesn't go all the way to this function definition, execute it, and come back to the calling module. So this entire execution time is being saved by the process of inline function, by the concept of inline function. So this is the idea of the inline function. Let's see how it just gives the output. It will just give the output as any other ordinary function which is not inline would have returned. So we'll expect it to return any output which can be returned by any other ordinary function from this program. But the inner details has been explained to you. That is, the execution time of this program will definitely be decreased by the use of the concept of inline function in this program. So let's just go to the build and run, and to see the output, enter the length of the square. Suppose I am entering the length 6, and let's see whether 36 comes. Yes, the area of the square is 36. So the program runs quite correctly. So there is no problem with the program output. But what is the concept of the inline function is to set the execution time of the function. Of the function call, and all the way the control goes from this section all the way to this section and coming back to this section. This entire sequence of things is being just skipped, and the body of the function is just placed in this region so as to decrease the execution time. So this is the concept of inline function, and if you have if you have any doubts and queries in your mind regarding this entire explanation of this concept, you can well post your doubts and queries into the comment section below so that I can address them. Thanks for watching this video, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DigiGuide. Thanks again.